Good evening and a very warm welcome to Front Page on AIM Network, India's definitive media organization and voice on everything AI and technology. Tonight, from the billion-dollar brag of India's AI power grid to a former PM, well, in Silicon Valley's playbook, from the tiniest voice AI startup punching way above its weight to a mega cable that makes Vizag the new digital beachhead. The future of AI isn't just landing in India, it's actually plugging straight into its bloodstream. Here are the headlines. TCS has announced a $5 to $6 billion investment to build a 1 gigawatt AI data center, signaling its pivot from a service led model to an infrastructure first strategy, a move that could redefine margins, talent, and India's role in the global compute race. Former UK PM Rishi Sunak has joined Microsoft and Anthropic as a senior advisor, linking geopolitics, big tech, and India's AI rise. Just as Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei lands in Bengaluru to meet Infosys' leadership and deepen the lab's India strategy. Bengaluru-based Smallest.ai has raised $8 million in seed funding led by Sierra Ventures to scale its sub-100 ms, sub-1 GB RAM voice AI stack, targeting sovereign, real-time deployments across BFSI, healthcare, and telecom, positioning itself as India's voice infrastructure play in the AI era. Finally, Meta's $10 billion 50,000 kilometer Waterworth subsea cable will land in Vizag and Mumbai, marking a major leap in India's AI and data infrastructure strategy and positioning Vizag as the country's next digital coastline. TCS just made its most ambitious move in decades. In the middle of an otherwise modest Q2 earnings report, Tata Consultancy Services quietly dropped a bombshell: a 1 gigawatt AI data center in India. This isn't just a tech announcement, this is the largest AI infrastructure investment ever by an Indian company. And it marks the moment when Indian IT stopped just serving AI and started building it. While analysts were busy dissecting margins and quarterly profits, TCS revealed its plan to invest $5 to $6 billion over the next few years to build out 1 gigawatt of AI data center capacity. Phase 1 alone, will be 150 megawatt, comes with a $1 billion price tag. Full build out, 1 gigawatt, making it one of the largest AI infrastructure projects outside the United States and China. This isn't a pilot, it's a power play. TCS reported 65,799 crore rupees in revenue this quarter, up 3.7% quarter on quarter. Net profit 12,904 crore rupees, up 8.4% year on year. $10 billion in total contract value this quarter. Margins expanded to 25.2%, dividend of INR 11 declared. But the real story is in the numbers. It's what those numbers are now funding: a new AI first TCS. For decades, Indian IT rode on labor arbitrage. Now, TCS is pivoting to compute arbitrage. 1 gigawatt AI data center capacity, India's first at this scale. So basically, new AI operations center in Mexico City, key deals worth $10 billion plus across BFSI, healthcare, and retail. AI hackathon with 275,000 employees to build internal AI capability. TCS is no longer just delivering code. It's laying the foundation on which future AI runs. Until now, the global AI infrastructure race was dominated by the United States, Middle East, and China. TCS's 1 gigawatt plan puts India on the AI infra map. This is not about catching up. This is about building energy efficient, sovereign AI capacity, the backbone for India's AI economy. And it's already aligned with India's sovereign cloud ambitions through its partnership with CDAC, Qualcomm for Edge AI, and major hyperscalers. Behind the big bet is a quiet but massive transformation. TCS is restructuring nearly 12,000 roles, shifting from mid level manpower to AI and cloud first talent. It's part of its future ready agenda. Because building AI infrastructure isn't just about servers and megawatts, it's about changing the DNA of India's biggest IT company. TCS isn't doing this in isolation. Just launched its AI Experience Zone in London, which will create 5,000 new jobs in the United Kingdom over the next 3 years. Works with 48 of the FTSE 100 companies, contributed 3.3 billion pounds to the UK economy last year. This is TCS turning global presence into AI power. For years, TCS symbolized India's IT outsourcing wave. Today, it's symbolizing something else: AI sovereignty for India's largest IT company. We, in conversation with a seasoned IT analyst, had arrived at this: that this isn't just a seasonal cost correction, it's the start of a deeper strategic reset. TCS is preparing its talent and balance sheet for a compute led future. He spoke, well, of 1 to 2% workforce realignment, AI native talent shifts, and the end of the old bench strength model. And today, everything that we predicted played out exactly as expected. Because TCS didn't just report earnings, it announced one of the boldest AI infrastructure bets in India's history: a 1 gigawatt AI data center, $5 to $6 billion investment, the largest by any Indian IT company. This isn't just a footnote in an earnings call, this is the earnings story. Once again, let's look at the numbers. TCS Q2 fiscal year 26 results confirmed what we have been tracking for weeks. The revenue, 65,799 crore rupees, up 3.7% quarter on quarter. The net profit, 12,904 crore rupees, up 8.4% year on year. The margins, 25.2%. $10 billion TCV in deal wins. But behind these numbers lies the real pivot. TCS is officially moving from manpower-led scale to AI infrastructure-led growth. Launch a 1 gigawatt AI data center starting with 150 megawatt in phase 1 positions India as a sovereign compute hub, aligned with workforce restructuring already underway. 12,000 roles, if you remember, realigned. Global AI operations expansion with Mexico City and UK hiring push. This is exactly the transition we had called out last week, from code factories to compute platforms. TCS's story this quarter isn't just about margins and deals, it's about what comes next. A world where Indian IT doesn't just deliver AI projects, it actually powers them. A world where compute is the moat, not just manpower. And TCS is building that moat, gigawatt by gigawatt. Please do let us know what you think in the comments below. He led the UK through a volatile AI decade, hosted the world's first AI safety summit, and once declared AI is bigger than any one country. End quote. Today, Rishi Sunak, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, has joined Microsoft and Anthropic as a senior advisor, a move that signals a new phase in the convergence of politics, power, and frontier AI. And he's donating every pound he earns from it to charity. Rishi Sunak, still serving as a UK MP, has accepted part-time advisory roles at Microsoft and Anthropic. The focus? Strategy, macroeconomics, and geopolitics, not UK policy. He will speak at Microsoft's annual summit and advise Anthropic on its global strategic roadmap. Under ACOBA rules, Sunak is barred from lobbying United Kingdom officials for 2 years and cannot use privileged government information. All proceeds will go to the Richmond Project, a charity he founded with his wife Akshata Murthy. This marks his third major advisory role since stepping down as party leader after returning to Goldman Sachs earlier this year. This is not a ceremonial appointment. This is a former head of government stepping into the command centers of AI. Sunak was among the earliest world leaders to frame AI as a geopolitical race, creating the UK's AI Safety Institute and hosting the Bletchley Park Summit that gathered the who's who of frontier labs, including Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google DeepMind. Now, he's not just talking about the future of AI, he's helping build it. Rishi Sunak's journey is an unusual arc in modern politics. Chancellor during the pandemic, Prime Minister from 2022 to 2024, architect of Britain's AI safety agenda, and now advisor to the companies actually building the future. While other politicians retreat to lecture circuits, Sunak is embedding himself in the strategic cores of big tech and frontier AI, exactly where the next phase of global power is consolidating. Microsoft is in the middle of an AI infrastructure supercycle with Copilot, OpenAI integrations, and multi-billion-dollar investments into the United Kingdom. Anthropic, backed by Amazon and Google, is scaling globally, tripling its international headcount, expanding to Bengaluru, Zurich, and Dublin, and pushing Claude deeper into enterprise. It just raised $13 billion at a $183 billion valuation, making it the fastest growing AI lab after OpenAI. Sunak brings something frontier labs crave: geopolitical muscle, diplomatic capital, and credibility with regulators. This isn't lobbying, it's positioning. Microsoft and Anthropic are no longer just technology companies. They are global power brokers, shaping policy, security, and infrastructure. Bringing in someone like Sunak is about, well, reading macroeconomic signals, navigating regulatory minefields, and ensuring these companies can operate like nation states, but faster. This also sends a message to other political heavyweights. Well, the most influential rooms in the world are no longer in parliaments or palaces. They're in actually boardrooms of frontier labs. Sunak is the son-in-law of Infosys founder Narayan Murthy, linking this development to India's most iconic IT family. And the timing, very interesting. Just as Sunak steps into Anthropic's advisory board, Anthropic co-founder and CEO Dario Amodei has landed in Bengaluru to meet top leaders at Infosys headquarters, including CTO Rafi Tarafdar and global head of AI Balakrishna Dr. Infosys chairman Nandan Nilekani is also hosting a private dinner for Amode with select startup founders, signaling how Bengaluru has quietly become a very critical node in the global AI power network. This visit follows Anthropic's announcement of its first India office in Bengaluru, a move aimed at embedding Claude deeply into India's enterprise and developer ecosystem. Anthropic recently announced its first Indian office in Bengaluru, signaling the country's rising influence in AI infrastructure. Sunak's role, though global, comes as India cements itself as a developer capital and AI policy hub. It's no coincidence that frontier labs are stacking strategic talent ahead of a new wave of compute diplomacy. Sunak isn't just parachuting into tech. He was one of the first leaders to argue that AI safety, regulation, and innovation had to move together. He championed AI as an economic engine for the United Kingdom, securing major investments from Microsoft, Google, and Nvidia. Now, as an advisor, he's betting that the next phase of global leadership won't come from politics, but from AI companies themselves. Governments once regulated technology. Today, politicians are joining technology. Microsoft owns the stack, Anthropic builds the models, and Rishi Sunak now sits in the room where both power and algorithms meet. The AI race isn't just tech versus tech, it's tech absorbing politics. When a former prime minister joins two of the most powerful AI companies in the world, it's not a side gig, it's a signpost. This is how the next chapter of AI power will be written. Strategy, models, politics, all in the same room. Bengaluru-based Smallest.ai has raised $8 million in seed funding led by Sierra Ventures with participation from 314 Capital, Better Capital, Upsparks Capital, Schema Ventures, and Tiny VC. Founded by Sudarshan Kamath and Akshat Mandloy, two engineers obsessed with speed and efficiency, the company is taking a radically different path in voice AI, building ultra low latency GPU light and privacy first voice models designed not for flashy demos but for production scale enterprise use. Here's the truth about voice AI. Most models sound great in the lab but collapse in the real world because of latency, infrastructure costs, and data privacy risks. Smallest.ai is tackling all three. Its lightning TTS stack can generate 10 seconds of audio in under 100 milliseconds with a memory footprint of less than 1 GB RAM. That's not just fast, that's actually faster than the average human response time in a conversation. On top of that, their architecture is non-autoregressive, meaning it doesn't generate voice token by token. It parallelizes actually inference, reducing lag to near zero. This makes the product viable for real-time deployments like banking helplines, insurance support, retail IVR systems, and emergency services. The Electron V2 model, a 4B parameter stack, actually hits a TTFT, time to first token, of 53 milliseconds, a number most global voice labs can't match today. This isn't a toy API, it's actually infrastructure built for scale. Voice AI adoption in India has been constrained by cloud dependence and compliance risks. A major bank or hospital can't stream sensitive customer audio to a United States hyperscaler in real time without actually running into regulatory walls. Smallest.ai's edge is its on-prem and VPC deployment model. The entire stack can actually run inside the customer's secure environment, giving full control over data cost and latency. That trifecta, fast, cheap, sovereign, is exactly what regulated industries need. The timing is crucial. In 2025, India's contact center and voice bot market is at a major inflection point. Over 70% of enterprises in BFSI, telco, and healthcare are actively piloting or deploying AI voice systems, but most rely on heavy cloud APIs with high costs and unpredictable performance. Smallest.ai wants to be the bare metal option, a compact voice model that can sit inside any enterprise stack and scale without GPU burn. Their founders believe latency is not just a UX problem, it's the defining moat for voice AI. If your response time is slower than a human, enterprises won't adopt at scale. The $8 million round will fuel Smallest.ai's expansion on three fronts. R&D acceleration, advancing their speech stack, which is Lightning plus Electron with multilingual and dialect support across Indic and GCC languages. Enterprise integrations, CRM, IVR, and security compliance tooling to make deployments seamless for contact centers. Talent expansion, hiring applied speech researchers, latency engineers, and compliance specialists to build a world-class infrastructure team in India. The company is also in early conversations with BFSI, healthcare, and telecom majors to deploy hundreds of voice agents across India by mid 2026. Smallest.ai isn't the only company chasing the voice AI gold rush. Global players like OpenAI, Real Time API, 11 Labs, and MetaVoice are pushing hard. Indian players like Unifor and Mihoop have deep enterprise roots. But while others build heavier cloud reliant stacks, Smallest.ai is betting on lightweight, edge optimized, sovereign models. This isn't a race to sound well human, it's a race to sound human, fast, cheap, and compliantly. Voice is the most natural interface in the world. But when it comes to enterprise, deployment latency isn't just a metric, it's the deal breaker. By cracking the speed plus sovereignty plus cost puzzle, Smallest.ai could give India its first homegrown voice AI infrastructure layer, powering everything from bank helplines to telemedicine bots. This is how the next billion AI conversations will happen, not on someone else's cloud, but on India's terms. The voice infrastructure race has begun, and Smallest.ai just placed a very smart bet. India's digital coastline, well, is about to get a lot bigger. Meta Platforms has officially picked Vizag and Mumbai as the landing sites for Waterworth, a $10 billion, 50,000 kilometer subsea cable system that will connect the US, India, Brazil, and South Africa by 2030 and make India one of the most critical nodes in the global AI infrastructure grid. This comes just months after TCS locked in a 21-acre land deal in Vizag for its 12,000 job IT campus, cementing the city's rise as India's second digital coastline. Waterworth isn't just a cable, it's a strategic infrastructure bet. $2 billion laying the subsea cable backbone, $2 billion lighting up 1 petabyte per second capacity, $6 billion leasing and building AI grade data center capacity in India. The W shaped route bypasses the volatile Red Sea corridor, ensuring security and redundancy critical for AI workloads that demand uninterrupted connectivity and ultra low latency. Meta's entry follows Google's $400 million Blue Raymond cable, which also partners with SIFI Technologies as its India landing provider. And it's not just global tech giants. Indian players are already in the race. Bharti Airtel, See Me V6 plus to Africa Pearls, Reliance Jio, India Asia Express, and India Europe Express Tata Communications, TGN 1A 2 plus Asia Direct Network, SIFI, and Lightstorm, carrier neutral landing, and backhaul hubs. This surge is transforming India from a bandwidth consumer into a data infrastructure anchor for global AI. For decades, Mumbai was India's only real subsea hub. With Meta docking Waterworth in Vizag, the city emerges as India's East Coast AI and data nerve center, diversifies India's landing stations beyond Mumbai, proximity to southern and eastern tech corridors, lower latency, and routing advantages for US, Africa, APAC traffic attracts hyperscalers, AI labs, and data center investments, which pair this with basically TCS's 21-acre campus and a growing policy push. And Vizag isn't just another coastal city, it's actually becoming a new AI cluster. Global submarine cable market, $27.6 billion in 2023, now stands at $40.6 billion by 2028. That's the projection. At 7.2% CAGR. India is the fastest growing market in APAC, expected to hit $78.6 million by 2030. As hyperscalers bring in private fiber and AI capable routes, India gains the infrastructure sovereignty it needs to support model training, inference, and AI scale enterprise demand. And with one PBPS capacity coming ashore, this isn't incremental bandwidth. It's future proofing the country's AI stack. TCS, 21 acres at 99 paise, 12,000 jobs on the way. Meta, Waterworth, longest cable in the world connecting Vizag to 4 continents. SIFI, landing partner powering carrier neutral infrastructure. Policy tailwinds, AI mission, sovereign cloud ambitions, energy efficient compute clusters. This public private stacking is exactly how cities like Singapore and Amsterdam built their data economies. And Vizag is following that blueprint. Meta's Waterworth cable isn't just about another pipe under the ocean. It's actually the spine of the next AI decade. And it's docking right in Vizag. For India, this is more than connectivity. It's infrastructure, power, compute, independence, and the beginning of a two-coast strategy. Mumbai for scale, Vizag for resilience. The AI race won't just be one data centers or labs, it will be one beneath the sea. Vizag is no longer just a port. It's the next big AI city for sure. So please go ahead and let us know what you think in the comments below. Well, with that, it's a wrap on Front Page on AIM Network for tonight. AIM Network, of course, is, well, India's definitive media organization and voice on everything AI and technology. Front Page is powered by MachineCon 2025, India's only invite-only residential summit for GCC heads, exclusively brought to you by AIM Network. Well, as always, I say this, and today I say it with, of course, a lot more pride. Think AI, think AIM.
We are AIM Media House. Born in Nama, Bengaluru. Built for the world. We make tech make sense. We tell stories that matter. This is the era of AI, and we are the ones telling its story. Think AI, think AIM.
And I have seen this place grow from strength to strength. Speakers, the sessions, and the vibe around that.
Love the vibe. Love to see how big it has gotten over the years.
The largest AI conference in India.
Cypher has definitely attained a cult status.
Artificial intelligence.
AI.
Coexisting.
AI.
Well, we would like to give you a very quick heads up for everyone who's, of course, watching. We've just dropped an exclusive front page interview with Sunil Gupta, founder and CEO of Yotta, in conversation with our tech journalist, Siddharth Jindal. It's a rare nuts and bolts look at how India's sovereign AI stack is actually getting built, from GPU clusters and liquid cooled data halls to power, fiber, and policy. Sunil breaks down why India needs multiple players across the AI stack, how Yotta went from 700 GPUs to 8,000 H100s live and is targeting 8192 Blackwell B200s online by December Jan, and what that means for model training versus low cost at scale inferencing. Well, if you care about the India AI mission, data localization, and the economics behind making AI affordable for millions, this chat is gold, trust me. Sunil also reveals how Bhashini migrated from a hyperscaler to Yotta's sovereign cloud, why talent for InfiniBand class networking is the hidden bottleneck, and what will it take for India to go from pilots to mass enterprise adoption. All I have to say is, don't miss it. The playbook for India's GPU moment is right there, straight from the operator building it. Go ahead and enjoy this conversation.
Because of this huge demand of India AI, and by December and by January, that this 8192 B200 Blackwells will be up and live. Because so for me, Indian market is supreme. Even with about 700 GPUs which I was owning at that time, I was possibly the largest GPU holder in the country even at that time, and that was like a good and bad news both.
If you were to build Stargate in India, which city will you choose?
Frankly speaking, I think right in 2000s, his message was very clear.
You are data center man of India. If you get any one superpower with this tag, what will you do? So I wanted to ask, does India really need Stargate when we have Yotta?
I think